You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV.
Watch us on YouTube.
Listen on your favourite podcast platform.
Or ask your smart speaker
To play the podcast Leicester Till I Die.
Hello, good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon, good day, goodbye. How the devil are we all? Welcome along to LTID TV from Leicester Till I Die. We are live, Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Thank you for joining in. It is the prediction show brought to you in conjunction with foxy7clothing.co.uk. Please be sure to check them out. If you like that, look, that's what it is, yeah. Great. And of course, that is brought to you by the leg end, that is Steve Lynex. And I'll use leg end very, very loosely because at the moment one of his legs is almost dropping off. Because I think he was playing under threes or under fours, and somebody tackled him, and he, well, you know, so somebody let it go. You know, you're retired now. Let it go. You know, keep trying to make comebacks, but no, we'll be bringing him in a second. Podcasts, if you're listening on the podcast platform, whether that is via YouTube, which apparently is now the biggest podcast platform in the world, or whether it's via your normal links of Spotify, Apple iTunes, or the Goggle, you are most welcome. Thank you for lending me your ears. And if you've got some smart speakers, alternatively, just ask your smart speaker to play the podcast Leicester Till I Die. Smart speakers, eh? I wish I'd got some smart guests, but look, you know, you can't have everything. We've got the normal ragtag and bobbin that are going to be joining us. I've got to say hello to Sharky. I don't know if he's in yet, but he is a new member. Thank you so very much. We'll give you a shout out at the end. I think we've got about 10 members now. We want to get up to about 20. It's $1.99 of your good old English pounds a calendar month. Basically, all it means is that we will be able to have some member-only shows, so just for members. So maybe some Q&As and things like that with some ex-players. So please do to join in. Sean is in. Good evening, Sean. How the devil are you? And all the way from the old Filipino, it's Jeff. Good morning, guys. Is this the week our agony ends, or can we still have a chance of survival next week? Look, mate, this is Leicester. You know, the agony ends when you're 6 foot under in a wooden box. Until then, the agony will always go on and on and on. And Sean says he can't wait for this. Mate, maybe I think you need to get out a little bit more. But look, if you want to follow us on socials, there we all are. All along the bottom there. Either LTID TV or Leicester Till I Die TV, whichever one I've signed it up as. And I can't change some of them and I can others. But that is where you can find us. And I've got to say, please, whatever you do, don't forget this.
The Prediction Show from Leicester Till I Die TV is brought to you by ex-Fox Steve Lynex and foxy7clothing.co.uk.
back of the net.
Good evening, gentlemen. Steve, how's the leg? Has it fallen off yet?
Man, I'm going to show. Well, I should be able to show you some bruises. It's really, really bad. Bad.
They'll say, well, you know, you just accept your age, mate. You know, don't. I mean, those under fives must have been terrible.
I had to play under the name of Smithy.
I'm surprised
This poor old Smithy's got a fine coming through the post because it got booked.
And what age exactly were this? I know I'm joking with under fives.
No, this is men's. It was my son's Sunday league team, and they were short for the last game of the season. And I did happen to have a pair of boots in the boot, so at the good old age of 65, I went on and gave it a go.
And did you score?
No, I didn't, mate. My hamstring went after half an hour, and then I had to play. Then I had to play in goal for the
Well,
rest of the game.
not like that's something you're not used to, is it? Really? And what was the fight? Did you win, lose, draw?
Not going to tell you the score.
Oh, so basically, what he said, a bit like this show every week, you didn't come away with any points. Brad,
We lost 5. Lost 5-1.
Oh, dear. Good evening. It's nice to see that you're starting the picking on Steve. I usually start it off and feel a bit undercut. It's amazing what a difference a week can make.
It's all over to you. I just had to get that quick one in. I've said that a few times in my life. Can I just say, apparently, Doug messaged me earlier. Russell Martin, he's set, apparently, according to the Athletic, to join Southampton and not Leicester. All I can say is, thank God, we don't want another ex-Swansea manager cocking things up for us, do we, Brad?
No, who is he? Is he the Blackburn manager?
No, he's the Swansea manager, which is why I said...
No, I know you said he was... Yeah, but when you said he was the ex-Swansea, I didn't know if he'd left them, and because I heard we got linked...
to the Bell End.
Ah, right. Yeah. No, I understood your reference. I just didn't know if he'd once managed them, because I knew we got linked with the Blackburn manager. I was thinking, why do we want a choke artist?
I'll have him. I would have Thomason. I think he would do...
Why?
Apparently, there's a 65-year-old ex-Leicester City player that tried to come out of retirement, it didn't go down very well, but is available for management. All right, Steve?
I'll take it.
Well, exactly. Right. Now, the good news is, and there is some good news this week, Brad, is that we are going to have some really good weeks because Steve's back. And he only ever has his good weeks when he's not here. So welcome back, Steve. This is how you did last week, and you may want to leave it for another week. But Brad, what happened? 6, Brad. It was nice of you to turn up.
Yeah, I know, right? I told you need to change my name. I've gone to the depot and changed it to Arsenal because I've really bottled that lead. I had quite the lead, and then I thought I'd let you become Man City, didn't I? That's backfire.
It's so difficult not to look smug at this point.
Just change my name to Arsenal FC.
Yeah.
Get the bottle job over and done with.
Steve, what a good week for you, though. I think Steve's frozen.
I think he has. Either that or that hamstring's really hurt him. Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone. He'll be back in a minute.
No, he'll text. He's seen his points, Chris, and he's just gone quick. I need to get someone to cover me so I can pretend I'm not here.
Probably, but can I just say, amazingly, back to the top with 2 weeks to go. I mean, mate, the worst time for you to lose it, but in a way, a really bad time for me to go ahead of you because I don't know how I'm going to stay up there.
Just copy my own work, mate. You'll be fine. Doesn't matter then, does it?
I did say that to you the other night, didn't I? I'll just go with, we've gone 2-0. That's just what I was going for, Brad.
I reckon we should do what we did last season on the last weekend of the games. We should rotate who goes first so there's no copy your own work because that happened with me.
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah, now he's winning. He doesn't want to change the order, Steve. Conspiracy theories, get them in.
But look, a good week for you, Steve. Do you want somebody to predict your scores this week?
Please do, yeah, mate. I'm struggling like mad.
Yeah, well, yes. I remember it this way. I think Southampton have got a better chance of coming off the bottom of the league than you have, Steve. Sorry, mate. I'm really sorry, but yes. But you nearly doubled Brad's score there. That's got to be something, I know it was in absenteeism, but you still did it. It's still in your name.
That's brilliant, mate. I had a great week last week then.
You did. You did. Right. Let me just. I've lost where I'm going. Here we go. I want to say just hello to Sharky. I did thank him earlier. He's our newest member. Welcome along, sir. How are you? Thank you so much for becoming a member. $1.99 discount on. Well, you probably don't want the LCFC, the LTID discount on the merchandise, but you also you were going to do some special shows and what have you as well. Nate, another member, is in. I've never seen so many members in one place since I was last down the nudist club. But welcome along, Nate. How are you? Hanging with my nomies. Well, we're keeping the theme going here. I feel sorry for you guys when you rock up to the SJB, mate. No, you don't feel as sorry as we do. We don't feel. I take it you're a Geordie, but you can't feel any more sorry for us than we do ourselves. And the funny thing is that if you go back 2 years, it was total role reversal. Keep calm, Brad. I didn't say role play. I said role reversal.
Don't get me excited like that.
Yeah, Luke was in. Sean says what we're predicting. Hopefully some football games once we get going, Sean. So there we go. Just to say, I nearly had to have another one made up just in case Steve didn't turn up, but he is. And as you can see, we are slowly introducing a new look to the channel. So you can see like the new layout here. And before we start, let me just... I want to just bring this up regarding the prediction league, because next season, so if Steve's happy to do it again next season, it'll be exactly the same with the three of us every Friday night. But we'll also be opening it up for people to join in, and we're going to start a little prediction. There's no prize for the prediction league, but it's all there. Just you have to follow Brad at Full Time Focus. We'll be saying the scores and tables on this show every week, but it will just be the three of us on the show still. But yeah, you've got to get all the details over to Brad, and the details are there for you. So let us make a start. Like I say, we're in a lot of changes.
Can I just add, mate, that we'll put up some Foxy 7 stuff for the winners.
There we go. What a gentleman. What a gentleman. That's an extra 2 points, Brad.
Okay. So now I'm back winning because you said I get an extra 2 points.
No, I never said you got an extra.
You never said who to. You never said who to. So I'll give myself them points. I'm in charge. So it's 193.
In fact, I think we should give Steve 40 points, I think, for that. I think he deserves 40 points.
I've done some calculations and I'll give him 38.
I was doing some calculations, which is why I gave him 40. But no, thank you for that, Steve. That is very generous of you. Thank you very, very much. 2 games to play for. Oof, yes, isn't it just? Let us have a look at the table, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not looking good for us, is it, Steve?
No, mate. I'm going to lose a few friends by saying this, but, I can't defend them anymore. There's a lot of people saying that Leicester players are too good to be where they are, but they're not. You've got to have the basics, you've got to have the fight, you've got to have the will. And looking at the last 2 or 3 games, they haven't got any of it. No. And you can't defend it anymore.
But it's not. You're not the only person saying it. My Tuesday talking point on the BBC website was sort of no fight, no passion, no pride in the shirt they wear. And I think that's something.
Nothing at all. It looks like a table soccer. When you go into the pubs, they're all on a piece of metal standing in lines. You don't see no interaction. You just look at players where they've been told to play, and they don't come out of those positions. And it's lackluster. It's you want to see somebody whacking somebody or something, or getting a booking. When was the last time Leicester got a booking? For other than
the other night when you got whacked and you got a booking, I think that was the closest we've come. But look, I mean.
That's right, I'm 65 now. I haven't played for 40 odd years, but you've still got passion. Yeah. And
exactly.
I can't understand I can't understand why. Leicester have always been fighters, always, and you hear it every week. Leicester don't never give up, but they have the last few games, and it's criminal, really.
Foxes never quit, Brad, but they appear to have done this season.
Foxes quit, bail, and get out of there as quick as possible. It's very shameful this season, and it's sad to see just how this club's gone this season. It's like we've said before, and we said it on the debate show, we've said it on a few shows, we've said it for the last 4 or 5 weeks of this prediction shows, all three of us. This is probably the worst feeling of relegation we've had, and we've seen this club go down to League One, so that's saying a lot to say that this is probably the worst, effortless, the most abandoned ship feeling for relegation, lack of fight that I've seen in my lifetime.
Yes, yeah. And I think, Steve, when you look at the likes of Leeds, the likes of Forest, even Everton, when you see them go into sort of games, you've seen them fight. I mean, I know Liverpool beat Forest recently, but, Forest were up for it and only just lost. Everton got a win. Newcastle, can you see Leicester doing the Leeds and getting 2-2 against Newcastle?
Not after watching them last night. Not watching a bit of it. It's you see the teams down at the bottom. You see them fighting. Like I say, Leicester don't. Leicester do not. They don't even seem to talk to each other on the pitch. You can't see anybody having a go at each other. You can't see anybody, pointing, why didn't you run here? Why didn't you do that? They're just, everybody on the pitch is accepting the fate. But the annoying thing is, most of them won't be anyhow, so they don't give a toss.
No, 100% agree. But at least we'll have some friends down there in Southampton next season. Right. Well, let's start it all off, and we start on Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, just 12:30, lunchtime kickoff on BT, and it is Brad's favourite team and your second favourite team, Tottenham, hosting Brentford. Steve, which way do you see this going? Are Tottenham going to end with a whimper?
No, they're going to get battered. I've gone totally off the whole of the top half of the Premiership, the top six. I'm sick of hearing about Man United. I'm sick of hearing about Tottenham. Sick of hearing about Arsenal. And I want a season where they all struggle. I really do, and I'm glad Tottenham are struggling. And I want Brentford to win this at least 3-0.
You are going 3-0 to Brentford. Brad, Brentford haven't won any of the last 6. 3 wins for Spurs, 3 draws, and the last 2 games have been, 0-0 was a couple of games ago, but earlier in the season, 26th of December, Brentford 2, Tottenham 2. I mean, I've got to be honest with you. Thank you, Tottenham, for not making us look like the most biggest joke club in the league.
Yeah, I mean, Spurs always wanted to hold on to a title, so I suppose they can, Daniel Levy might go to the 99p store and buy the most biggest joke of the season title. But this one's a weird one because about 3 days ago, I had it in my head. I was going to copy Steve's homework on this one. I was going to say 3-0 Brentford because it's Spurs. Spurs know how to beat Spurs by being Spursy. And then conveniently and almost pointlessly for their season because of where they are, Ivan Toney suddenly gets punished.
Yeah.
They didn't wait the last 2 games of the season like they're waiting to stock Everton points. Conspiracy theorists. But they're conveniently, now taking out their best player for the last 2 games. And look, Brentford aren't completely a one-man team. It'd be very amiss to say that Brentford will collapse just because they haven't got Ivan Toney. But there is that thing that you can't help being a football fan and a neutral fan when you think of them as a team and think, without him, they lack a little bit of zest. So I'm unfortunately, sorry, Steve. Sorry, because I'm going 2-1 to Spurs.
Ooh. I've got to say, it is funny, isn't it, that I mean, I'm still convinced that the Premier League will not make a decision on Everton until the end of the season, because if they go down, then they can wash their hands of it and pass it on to somebody else. So I'm up there with you, Brad, with the conspiracy theory, and then especially when they came and saw Ivan Toney, straight away. 8 months is it that he's got?
Yeah, and look, I know it's all going to go technical law, but it's convenient how them laws only fit when only get put into say when it's needed. But what is that? 1 month less than what Cantona was given when he kicked a fan? And I'm not saying that Cantona didn't deserve a long punishment for what he did, but you're thinking kicking a fan and potentially, causing serious injury to him. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's the only bet that Ivan Toney lost. That he'd get away with it or not. But you know what I mean? It's funny how the world works when it needs to.
Yes.
And
I think for me, had Ivan Toney been playing for Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, any of those, he probably wouldn't have even got 8 months.
No, you know what they'd have done, Chris? They'd have got it out of the way and done it there and then, so he won't play again this season. And then it'd been like, oh, well, he's missing for 3 months, but at least we got him all next season. It wouldn't have bothered them so much. You're right. I think he'd have been slapped on the wrist. At worst, he'd have been told he can't play the rest of this season if he'd have been at a higher club.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Tottenham are 6th in the form table at home. Away, Brentford are 11th. At home, though, Tottenham they did win last time out. They beat Palace, and they've won 4 of the last 6 at home. But Brentford have only managed 2 out of the last 6 to actually win the game. I think Toney is a big miss for them. A bit like Mitrovic at Fulham. I think it's going to it's just going to sort of end the season there, really. And I think it's Brighton that's going to be carrying the can for the smaller clubs. What did you go, Brad?
No, can't copy my own work. No, he's not doing that. No. Don't tell him, Steve. I'll pay you a £5. I'll give you 30. I'll give you 50 points if you don't tell him what I said.
Well, only because I don't want to go the same as you. That's why.
Yeah. With that 1 point lead, he doesn't want to go the same as me.
I'll tell you what I am going for, whether it's the same as you or not, then, is I'm going 3-1 to Spurs.
Well, to be fair, I went 2-1, so, that's fair enough. So what's a 97th minute Spurs goal give you 3 points?
Exactly. Whatever you go, I'm just going to add one more goal on.
It's worked for you. It's bloody worked for you. So why not?
Exactly. I'm not stupid, I may look it, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah, that's good because you really look it sometimes. Sorry, I said that out loud. How dare I? My partnership with LTID is going downhill quick.
Yeah, that agreement we've got for next season. See you, mate.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure working for you.
Steve, Wolves hosting Everton. Now, I know it's not the next one on there, but it's the next one on my other screen. I mean, if Everton win this, then that is literally, we're not technically down, mathematically down, but that's, sorry, I didn't go through everybody's, Brad put me off, everybody, and I do apologise, Steve, and everybody, but let's see what people have been saying. Brad's an idiot. Brad never didn't deserve to win. Oh, sorry. Did I say that?
Stop reading out your own comments.
Shane went 1-1. Jeff went 2-1 to the Spurs. Luke went 2-0 to Brentford. And Sean went 1-0 Brentford. He's not a fan of the Tottenham fans. Sorry, Steve, as I was saying, if Everton were to get something at Wolves, and let's face it, we've seen what they did to Everton. They're very capable of it. That could be like, say, the third nail out the four in Leicester's coffin.
Like I say, the teams down the bottom, they seem to be trying. They seem to be fighting. I think Everton are going to do the same. Sean Dyche always makes sure that that's the one thing that these teams do. Wolves, very tricky. I think if it would have been at Everton, I'd have said Everton, but I'm going to go for a 2-0 Wolves win.
2-0 to Wolves. Brad, Everton, is this the site that we're looking at because they changed their manager at the right time? So they got that initial one-game bounce. They struggled, but he's had time to sort of stamp his image onto the team. Where, say, for example, Dean Smith or Big Sam at Leeds, yeah, got an initial bounce, both of us, but he hasn't got time to really put anything in place too drastic.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest issue we have with changing our manager was the timing of it. And we all said it. Not to reiterate that timing, but I don't know if you saw what I retweeted about 10 or 15 minutes before the show started. Kaglar Soyuncu's agents come out and stated that Kaglar Soyuncu was offered a contract by Leicester, and the only reason he turned it down is because he wasn't convinced that he was going to get the first team football that he predicted. So I've just sent a lovely thank you note to the Bell End Brendan for his stubbornness costing us yet again this season. It just makes you think. It does make you think, doesn't it? What if Dean Smith was brought in after the World Cup? Would Kaglar Soyuncu be potentially the first step of Leicester's recovery midway through the season? We'll never know. But yeah, I think you're right, Chris. I don't think it's the appointment that ever annoyed Leicester fans. I think it's the fact that it took so long for it to happen that's annoyed Leicester fans, because it's 99% going to cost us Premiership status, unfortunately.
It is. So what are you going for, sir?
This is horrible because every part of me can see Wolves losing this game. I can see Everton winning it. And I'm deciding what's more important to me. Deluding myself and thinking Everton are going to lose and Leicester have something to fight for against West Ham, or beating you in the predictions league. And
the second, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So I'm gonna sit on that proverbial Chris's fence, and I'm gonna go for a Desmond. I'm gonna go 2-2 because I can't pick between my heart and my head. I'm gonna go for a Desmond because I think Steve's right. I think Everton have got fight. I just hope Wolves do something and turn up and just keep us in it.
Yeah. I mean, 4 of the last 6 have been wins for Wolves, 2 for Everton. There hasn't been a draw in the last 6 games, Brad.
Oh, I meant Wolves 4-2. That's what I meant. I went 4-2 to. I had a stutter. It was a stutter.
Did you not say 2-2?
That's stutterish. That I was saying 2.
Yes. You definitely went for a Desmond. Look, Wolves are 13th. Everton are 17th. Wolves 40 points. They are safe. On home form wise, though, Wolves are 10th. On away form, on away form, Everton are 14th. They've only won one, which was their last away game when they beat Brad's favourite team, Brighton. But I'm like you, Brad. I don't like you, but I am like you in as much as, this could be Leicester's worst nightmare, couldn't it? Because it seems now that when other teams are having their difficult games and we were having our easier games, we didn't take advantage of them. But Wolves overall, one lost. So on that basis alone, I'm just going to go that the next game's going to be a win. So one lost, won this one. I'm going to go 2-1 to Wolves.
2-1. Yeah.
So we are completely separated now. What has everybody gone for in the chat? Sean has gone. He's gone 3-0 to Wolves. Jeff has gone 1-0 to Wolves. Shane has gone 2-1 to Wolves. Nobody's giving Everton much hope here, and True Red has gone 1-0 to Wolves. And can I just say, if it is a winning a goal for Everton, you know that Damari Gray's going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just know it.
Okay, so next up, Bournemouth, nothing to play for. Let's say congratulations to Bournemouth. A Bournemouth fan sent me a little clip earlier of everybody saying Bournemouth were going down at the start of the season, which I think was gloating a little bit. But then, mate, look at the manager you had at the start of the season. I think if they said that Scott Parker was coming to Leicester, I'd be trying to track down Brendan Rodgers and bring him back. That's how bad Scott Parker was. So I think that was on the basis of what everybody judged that. Bournemouth in 14th, 39 points, again safe. And I say, well done for them. I think it's a bit funny though, Steve, that they put Gary O'Neill up for Manager of the Year. I don't think the season's been that good, has it?
Well, the way things have gone in this football calendar year, I think anything's possible. But I still think Man United is going to be having a mind on the FA Cup. I think they're not going to bother about the league. So on that premises, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Bournemouth.
2-0 to Bournemouth. Whoa. Away from home as well. On that one, are they away from home? Yes.
Bournemouth are at home to Man U.
Bournemouth are at home. Oh God, that's hold on to your hub caps, everybody that's living in Bournemouth. Brad, okay. After the other night when Newcastle scored an amazing 4-1 victory, which was thoroughly deserved.
Brighton are a bunch of wankers. What? Sorry.
Newcastle on 69 points, having played a game more than United. United have only played 35. I think they had the FA Cup or something, didn't they? Or a League Cup. Man United, therefore, with one game less, are on 66. But Liverpool are in 5th on 65. Liverpool, as we know to our cost, haven't lost in about 6 games. Manchester United's form in the last 5 is drawn 1, lost 1. Manchester United, I think, can't afford to take their eyes off the ball with this one because if they make a cock up of this, they've not got Champions League football.
Yeah, and then I'll be begging the question to Man United fans of what's so special about Ten Hag, because at least Ollie had you finishing in the top 4. But apparently Ten Hag's an amazing manager and far better than the Norwegian Numpty. I tried to think of a word and then he said something offensive then, so I'm glad my brain thought of Numpty. That's all I'm going to say. But, he ain't that special, is he, Mr. Ten Hag? He's not doing that brilliant. I just feel like, Manager of the Year, Bournemouth fans, congratulations on staying up, but calm down. Thomas Frank.
No, it's the press that was saying that.
The press. Well, the press needs to calm down. De Zerbi, Thomas Frank, Marco Silva. There's 3 managers that are better off than the Bournemouth caretaker manager at the job. Well, bloody hell! Steve Cooper's managed the feeding of the 5,000 and looks like keeping them in the Premiership. So, you know what I mean? In terms of
the 3 that were in the paper were Pep Guardiola, Ten Hag, and Gary O'Neill.
Hold on. Ten Hag, who's doing worse, technically, position-wise, doing worse than Ollie at the wheel. Pep, I'm sorry, just give him. He gets enough trophies at Man City. Why? What's he doing that's so special? If he wins a quad, fair enough. But no, not until he's completely won the quad anyway. But the other 2, that makes no sense to me. There's far better deserving managers to be in the talk of Manager of the Year award. But anyway, I think Man United just turn up for this one. I think Bournemouth will be in a bit of party mood. They'll be celebrating. They'll be giving the old middle finger to the neutrals who, rightly, under Scott Parker, predicted they were going to go down because they were. If they'd have kept hold of Scott Parker long enough, they'd have been cut adrift. They'd have been. We're actually pissed off if you look at our position now that they didn't stick with Scott Parker long enough to keep them on like 2 points or whatever it was. But I think Manchester United are going to need to get something to go against Man City because they're really going to want to stop them winning the quadruple, aren't they? So I've gone for a 3-0 Man United win.
The treble.
Oh, no. Yeah, sorry, the quad, the treble, the quad. Where did I get the quad from?
Yes.
Good. You know, I was in my head because of last year, wasn't it? Last year, it's me pills. I'm not taking the meds. They'll stop them doing the treble. It's because I'm not used to Man City doing so well. I'm just assuming they won everything.
What did you go for in the end? Sorry, I forgot because I was
I,
correcting you.
I think just forget it. Just I didn't say anything. No, I went 3-0 Man U. Man U.
Okay, I can't go that mad, but I do think Man United. I'm going to give them one last chance because every time I predicted them for a win, they've gone and let me down. But look, on home form. Oh no, on home form. Bournemouth the 16th. On away form, Man United are 5th, but they've only won one in the last 6 away. Where Bournemouth at home 1-1, lost, 1 lost. This could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if Bournemouth didn't come away with something. They'll get a goal. I'm going to go 2-1 Man United. 2-1. I was tempted to go for a 1-1, but hopefully not hopefully, but I think Man United will probably just get it. Right, let's have a look what people are going for. Shane has gone 1-1. Jeff's gone Bournemouth to nick this 2-1. He's gone for Bournemouth. Gaming Time, good evening, sir. How are you? Welcome along. True Red has gone 2-1 to Bournemouth. Luke there. While Gaming's gone 2-0 to Manchester United. So, next up, Steve, we've got Fulham Crystal Palace. Mid-table, nothing to play for. End of season fair, really, but probably means it will still be on Match of the Day before Leicester.
Yeah, I think Fulham have got more to, or want to prove more than Palace. I think, to be fair as well, you still don't know which Palace team is going to turn up. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Fulham win.
I'm going to go 2-0 Fulham. I mean, Brad, obviously, Fulham this match will definitely be on before Leicester on Match of the Day because we don't play till Monday. I need to think these things through before I say, don't I? Which way are you going to fall on this one? Fair point. Touché, sir. Touché.
Honestly, I think Palace struck a bit of gold. They went, what's the one thing that happens 90% of the time when you sack a manager and bring a new one in? He gives you that manager bounce, and we usually get a boost of points. And I don't think Palace were ever really in that much danger of getting dragged into the relegation zone because at that point, when they hired Roy Hodgson back at the ripe old age of 173, Everton, Leeds, Forest, West Ham didn't look like winning another game for that season. And when he first came in, obviously they really picked up points. They obviously beat us. They got a few other nice results. And then since then, they've died off. They haven't really done anything. They've seemingly struggled. I mean, I know they beat Bournemouth last week, which kind of contradicts what I'm saying, but they haven't really done anything. Fulham have got Mitrovic back, and that came back with a bang at the weekend. They obviously needed no assistance from him to beat us the week before that. I'd see Palace scoring. I think it'd be a consolation though, and I've gone Fulham to win this one 3-1.
3-1 to both of you going for Fulham. Well, of the last 6, Fulham have only won 2. There's been 1 draw and 3 wins for Palace. In the reverse fixture Boxing Day, it was 2-0 to Fulham and Palace went down to 9 men. So it could be a bit feisty if memories are short for the players. But on the form, I mean, Fulham are sat in 10th, Palace are sat in
12th. Is he frozen?
12th. Have I frozen? Can you
That
hear
might
me?
just be me.
No,
Probably is. It's always you. You are, but
It is.
you are the child that was separated at birth to Batelli. Hold your top up. It's going. Why always me? It is always you, sir. Yeah. So Fulham are 11th in the home form, and Palace are 13th in the away form. It could go either way. This one. I'm going to go 1-0 to Fulham because they've got Mitrovic back, and I think he has made the difference. So 1-0 to Fulham for me. Jeff has gone 2-0 to Fulham. Shane has gone 2-1 to Fulham. Luke has gone 1-0 Fulham. And Gaming Time has gone for a Desmond. He's gone for a 2-2. So let's have a look what is up next. And it is Liverpool versus Aston Villa, Steve. We all know what Liverpool are capable of, even when they're only in second gear when they play us.
Yeah, Villa are having a good season. They're doing really well lately, having a good run. But I think Liverpool are coming into form, and I can't see them. I can't see them losing this one. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Liverpool win.
You are going 2-1 at Liverpool. Brad?
Yeah, sad to say it, but the fact that Liverpool have had 2 weeks to recover, because people might mistake them and thinking, Brad, what you're saying? They played Leicester on Monday night. No, they didn't. They had a training game. So they've had a long time to recover. They've not had to really start playing football for 2 weeks, so they'll be really fresh and ready for this game. I like Emery. I think he was a good manager at Arsenal. I think he's doing a brilliant job at Villa. I think next season they're going to be a team to watch. Thankfully, we'll be in the Championship, so we won't have to watch them. But I agree with Steve. I think Villa are going to maybe cruise this, or maybe it'll be one of them flattering score lines. But either way, I'm going 3-0 Liverpool.
Right. I mean, Liverpool sat in 5th at the moment. They have their last 6. It's like looking at a grass field. It's just full of green. Villa are in 8th, but they did win last time out, but they lost the 2 previous. At home, Liverpool won 5 of the last 6 and drawn the other one. Away, Villa have lost their last 2 away games. Having said that, Liverpool won 3-1 last time out. I've been impressed with Emery as well. Again, I think you look at Villa, and well done to Villa because they decided it wasn't working with Brad's favourite manager, so they got rid and they replaced him with Emery, who obviously turned down Newcastle, but did it early enough to turn the season round, and they got a good manager in. I'm actually going to go. I'm going to go for my first Desmond. I'm going to go for a 2-2 on this one.
Oh, interesting.
So there we go. You've gone again, by the way. I don't know if you meant to at all.
My phone's not holding its charge. It's playing up. It's saying it's slow charging, and I'll keep losing percentage. So I'm trying to get the charger to hold. Once I do, I'll come back on camera. I do apologise, mate.
No. I think we're quite happy you're not being on camera, aren't we, Steve?
This is where he starts doing his drinking, mate. You know what I mean?
I said I wouldn't have another glass, Steve.
This is so we can't, we can't see when he's writing down. Here we go. Let's see what people have said in the chat. Fulham to win 2-0, says Jeff. Shane's gone 2-1 to Fulham. We've just done that one, haven't we? We did that one before. Sorry, Gaming Time's gone 3-1 to Liverpool. Jeff's gone 2-1 to Villa. Luke's gone 1-1. Adam, thank you so very much. I love Leicester so much. I'm so sad they're going down. Thank you very much. He said, I'm holding my dog and crying watching the Newcastle breakdown. He is barking at me like he feels my pain. We all feel the pain there. So after Liverpool, which is the 3 o'clock kickoff, we are on to the 5:30 kickoff. And look, Steve, I know you don't like Arsenal, but just be very, very careful with this one. Nottingham Forest hosting Arsenal at 5:30 on the Saturday. It'll be on Sky. Everybody, let's just sit back and let's just see what Steve's going to go for with this one. Not saying your reputation's on the line here, Steve, but you go for it, mate.
Mate, Arsenal are broken. Arsenal are broken. That killed them. That killed them. And it's the best time ever this season for Forest to play Arsenal. And I think that's going to be a big factor in it because Arsenal have totally blown it themselves and they know they've blown it. And season's over for them. They're not going to have the same fight. Forest are going to be up for it. And I can see Forest winning this 2-0.
2-0 to Forest, honestly.
You can see it's happening. You can see it's happening. Arsenal have totally broken now.
I mean, what? I'm sorry, but I have to. If I can just quickly find it.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Oh yes, and I obviously we respect that you come on, and we respect your opinion, Steve.
Your opinion is wrong.
But there we go. You've gone 2-0 to Arsenal. Brad, bring some sense and well, I don't know actually, not unless they bring any sense because I can see where Steve's coming from. Arsenal now. I mean, I said, well, what was it? A few months ago, it was Arsenal's to lose. My God, have they done that? 4 points behind Manchester City. Manchester City got a game in hand on them. And Arsenal, well, Forest, in fairness, are a lot better at home than they are away.
Yeah, this scares the jeebus out of me. Because I can see it happening. I really can, Chris. And I can see it being a comfortable one for Nottingham. I really can. Arsenal are gone. And Arsenal are dead. I mean, they've had so many embarrassing results this season. True Red Luke, mate, congratulations on staying in the Premier League. Because Leeds and Leicester aren't catching you. It's literally Leeds, Leicester and Everton. I don't know. This is horrible. There's so many horrible fixtures because of our situation. And I want Arsenal to win it. But look what happens. They go and lose to Brighton and teams like that. And oh, this is horrible. This is horrible because I'm going to go for, I don't know, because you know what? I'm going to say this now. This isn't my prediction, but I can really see Steve getting at least a point on this, if not all three. Because deep down, I think, and this is just for you, Luke, I honestly think Nottingham Forest are going to win this game 3-1. But I'm a Leicester fan. So I'm going to stay true to my colours. And I'm going to go that Arsenal win this 3-2.
Wow. Okay.
But just let it be known that I really do think that Forest can win this game. My Leicester biasness is the only thing that's given Arsenal the win here. It is not my true reflection.
Biasness to go over the fact that you're going to get 3 points in the prediction league, because I'm going to go 2-1 Forest on this one.
I don't blame you. You know what? If this is the thing that tops the league for you, mate, you deserve the title because you've had more bottles to go with what you believe than.
And you do not know. I am going to go into my garden, rip a branch off the birch tree, and hit myself with it all night as punishment. But I've got to see, basically, Steve. And this is—I never thought I'd say this, but you were talking so much sense, and you are. They have totally lost it. I mean, how many points clear were they? They had it in their pocket, Arsenal. And I just think it's a case of that the players have lost that that confidence. You can see it's drained out of them when they play. The last time out for Forest, they did lose 5-0 at Arsenal, but their away form's been absolutely awful. But at home, Forest the 12th, and that's not bad actually. They've won the last two at home. Away, Arsenal. Oof. Actually, Arsenal are top in the away form. Maybe I should change my mind. But now I can see it hurts. God, you do not know how much it hurts. Oh, when you sat on the toilet and you've got a poo and it won't come out, how much that hurts. It's up there with that, guys. It really is. And I'm sorry, Luke, that I'm like in Nottingham Forest to a big shit. But yeah, I've got to go 2-1. I can't do anything else. And if anybody clips that, I will absolutely deny it at all. So let's see what everybody has gone for in the thing. Aidan, it is your name. I welcome along, Aidan. Thank you very much. Jeff has gone 3-1 to Arsenal. Aidan's gone 2-2. Luke says, I say he's always loved you. Steve, I say he's a Forest fan. And then having said that, he's gone 1-1. LCFC believer, Forest have a good record at home, but they did lose to United. So I hope Arsenal don't throw the game like the other teams did. He says, cheers, mate, to me as well. Look, I just think it's... If it was at Arsenal, I think it would be a different story. But I've given up on Leicester, to be honest with you. And I want this title more than Leicester want to stay up. That is the difference. Leicester, this is the fight that you should be showing. The fight and the belief to go and win something. Do I sound convincing, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess the answer is no. Oh, here we go. Anyway,
Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
Something is coming. Something big.
The Prediction Show from Leicester Till I Die TV is brought to you by ex-Fox Steve Lynex and foxy7clothing.co.uk.
Back of the net.
Indeed, and thanks you very much to Steve, who will be sponsoring the Viewers Prediction League next season. He's going to put some prizes up for that, so thank you very much for that, Steve. Sunday, we've got to say, West Ham lead. We've got to say congratulations to West Ham on getting to the conference final.
Yeah, well done, West Ham.
Well done to the fella on the stairs, mate.
Yeah, saw that as well. Yeah, very well done to him.
That's the
Did you
point
see
you
that,
want.
Chris?
No, you've lost me now.
Two fans, well, mainly one. Steve, you probably know it better than me, actually. You tell it, because I've seen bits of it.
Yeah, the ultras broke down the fence and they went up to where the players' family and friends were, and they were all piling up the stairs, ready to go. And there was two lads at the top, two West Ham lads, who absolutely battered the first few that got there, and the rest couldn't get past them. So you got to hold the hands up to them, mate. And if I was West Ham, they'd be getting season tickets for life now for that.
I saw the trouble because some of the players were joining in as well, weren't they? Because it was like you say, friends and family. But I think Alkmaar were absolutely embarrassed themselves by it all. But look, they've got to the final, and well done. There, but for the grace of God, go us, Steve. But they're hosting Leeds. West Ham all but safe though.
Mate, on that, what they've done last night to get to the final, I think West Ham now are going to go through till the end of the season and they're not going to lose a game. And that's going to be really, really bad for us on the last game of the season because you can just see it's happening now. They're going to get the confidence of getting through to that final. There might be a bit in the minds where nobody wants to get injured or whatever to miss that final. But it works either one or two ways. And the way I can see it now is the confidence is going to come back to West Ham they've got the prize that they want, and I can't see them losing now the rest of the season.
So
Leeds,
you are going for
Leeds is Leeds. I don't think I think Big Sam's done there too late. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 West Ham.
2-0 to West Ham. Brad, yeah, we said it before, didn't we? And as Steve just said, Big Sam, I think it was a bit of a late appointment. But you do see Leeds, if they're going down, we're going down with the whimper. They are going down fighting.
Yeah, and that's the biggest difference between us and Everton. It's why we've got a statistical 85% chance of being relegated. Let's face it. If you ask a Leicester fan, it's already 100% done without the games being played. The thing is, and I know they are all but safe, and there's no way they're going down anyway. But this game puts a cherry on the top of a very good season, doesn't it? They can beat the team.
That'd be Bournemouth, mate.
Pardon?
That'd be Bournemouth. They're the cherries.
Okay. We'll put the hammers on top of the cake just for giving yourself your little comments there. Put the hammers on top of the cake, the irons on top for candles. They can now just sweep aside any slight dampening fear of relegation to their season by beating the only team that can mathematically catch them in that bottom three. So I think they'll do it. They'll want to go into the game with momentum. I think they'll look to tick that box, have all their focus on Europa League conference final, play the under-19s against Leicester and win 2-0, and have a happy end to the season because, that's it. Doug, sorry, Chris, for this. I'll need to talk to you after the show, Chris, just confirm it. I've just got your message, Doug. I need to have a word with Chris and just check my schedule, but I'll let you know, mate. I just saw he was in chat, just so why he's here. But I've gone for West Ham to win this one 3-0 because I think, despite Leeds' fighting effort, it's something they'll need to take into next season. Whether they somehow stay up by the skin of their teeth or they're in the Championship with us next season, I think it's something they'll be looking to use as like a starting board, a springboard for next season, their momentum.
West Ham won 4 of the last 6 of these. Leeds, 1 of them, and 1 draw. 15th West Ham, 18th Leeds. Isn't that right? No, they can't be 18th, can they? Are Leeds 18th? Yes, they are. Sorry, I was getting us mixed up with us. That was wishful thinking. They're 18th. On home form, West Ham are 14th. On away form, Leeds are 19th. I think because they've played that game last night, that they're going to be tired, but I think adrenaline's going to carry them through because it's at home. I mean, the game last night was away from home. They're coming back to the London Stadium. The fans are just going to be absolutely, quite rightly, on one. I can't see this going any other way. I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham. I know it's been my favourite prediction tonight, but I'm going to go for another 2-1 West Ham. Steve, Southampton, already relegated, are just travelling along the coast to Brighton. Brighton, I mean, they're fair play. The manager said how good Newcastle played and what have you. I'm sure it wasn't what the Brighton fans wanted to hear the other night. They can't now get into the Champions League, but they have still got Europe on their minds. Oh, and I do apologise. Let me just, before I come back to you, once again, I forgot to go to the scores. Jack is in 2-1 to Leeds, he says. Jeff's gone 2-0 to West Ham, as has indeed Doug. Luke's gone a 3-1 to Leeds. Wow. Aidan's gone Leeds to West Ham 1. And Jack says hi to Steve Lynex. Is that Jack? Are you the Jack from the Final Whistle? Is that you, Jack? I don't know, because you've changed your things a few times, though. I don't know if that is you or not. But, sorry, Steve, back to you. Brighton, still got Europe to fight for.
Brighton play some great football. Been really impressed with Brighton. But football, funny old game. Southampton already relegated. Bit of a derby for them. And I can just see Southampton winning it. I really can. It's just football, the way it is, and the shackles are off. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Southampton.
1-0 to Southampton. Point that Steve makes there, Brad. Southampton are down, no pressure on them now, and it lifts that weight off the shoulders for the players, doesn't it? Well, for 19 teams it would do. For, of course, one team it won't make any bloody difference, but it does. They can just be themselves. They can go out. If they lose, all right, you don't want to lose, especially against sort of local rivals, which Brighton are really. But they can play with that freedom, can't they? You're muted, mate.
Sorry, it's because I was trying to sort my camera and me charging out. I'm having awful issues tonight, so apologies for all of this. But they can. But the one thing I have seen from Southampton is, like Leeds and Everton, they've tried to show fight to stay in this division. The problem is they've also shown they're just not very good. They conceded 4 against.
Don't mince your words, mate. Come straight out and say.
I know, right? I know, sitting on that fence a little bit, but they Leicester have been their only successful team this season, and they've managed to do the double over. I believe, anyway, the only one. But they conceded 4 against Forest, and I know Forest have been in form, but when you're fighting for your lives and you're scoring 3 away from home, you should win that game. I wonder where I've heard that before. Anyway, they were in the game against Fulham a lot longer than a certain other team were, but the second Fulham scored, like a certain other team, they kind of just blew a gasket, conceded a couple of goals, and that was it. It was game over. And as much as my newfound hatred for Brighton wishes Southampton go and batter them 6-0, I've switched the logical switch on here, and I'm going to go for a 3. How many times have I gone for that? I'm doing a U with 3-3-0s there. I'm going to go for a 4-1 Brighton, because I have to think logically instead of over. I can't do an Anakin. I can't do an Anakin Skywalker. I can't let my hatred control my emotions. So, as much as I want Brighton to lose 6-0 for being shit, sorry, I'm going 4-1 Brighton.
He is your father, Luke.
No!
Brighton have won 2 of the last 6. Saints have won 1, and there's been 3 draws. The last time they're out, it was 3-1 to Brighton. I'm going to make this a full house because we've got 1 for Southampton, 1 for Brighton. So I'm going to go down the middle, and I'm going to go for my second Desmond of the night. Because Brighton, you don't know which Brighton are going to turn up. Let's be honest. They are at home, and they're fighting for Europe. They're sat in 6th at the moment. I'm going to have to mute you as well, Brad. Sorry, mate. It started again. At home, Brighton, though, are in 9th. Away, Southampton are 16th. But I just think, they haven't won away. They've won away. They've only won 4 games all season. And one of those was against us, so it doesn't really count. But I just think the fact that they've no longer got that pressure on them, they'll just go out. And I've gone for a draw. And like I said, they've had 3 draws from the last 6 anyway. So that is me. I'm going for my second Desmond. Let's see what people have gone for with Brighton. Jeff has gone 3-0 to Brighton, and Luke's gone 2-0 to Brighton. So you and me, we'll stand up for Southampton. At least next season, Steve, I'll be able to see some old friends in the schoolyard when we play Southampton. So it'll be really, really nice. And I've got to get a ticket this season now if we both go down. The last game on the Sunday, the 4:00 kickoff, it is champions-elect Manchester City hosting the team that, according to most tables, are in the bottom half. But, of course, if you're a match of the day, 11th suddenly becomes the top half of the table. What a season. Chelsea probably cannot wait for this season to end. Pochettino going to Chelsea? I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think surely there's teams that he can go to that are better run and better, better for him than Chelsea. But is this going to be Man City claiming the title?
I think they are. I think they're going to make a lot of changes, but the team's not going to get any weaker. You're still going to say the same it is. The players are going to come in and do exactly what they've been doing all year. And they're going to win it on Saturday. I cannot see Chelsea at all winning this game. Man City are a machine. They're a machine. Even when they bring in 4 or 5 different players, they're going to want to win the league on Saturday, get it out of the way. Because, like you say, the big prize is the big one at the end for them.
Yeah,
I think he's going to give a few fringe players some bit of game time. So I think you'll see a lot of changes between now and the final. So easily 3-0 win to Man City.
yeah. I've got to ask you this, Steve, as an ex-player, and it's something I read in it, and I can't remember where I read it during the season. Manchester City, despite Brad trying to make them sound better than they are, they're only on for a treble. But obviously, the last team to win a treble was the other half of Manchester, the red half. The fact that what I was reading though was the fact that Man City, if they do win the treble, really aren't worthy winners of that, and it will not be as noteworthy as Manchester United winning it, because let's be honest with you, Manchester City should be winning it. They ignore FFP. They've got one of some of the richest owners in the world. There's probably only PSG at the moment that's actually richer than them. If Pep wants a player, he paid £1 billion for a player that he didn't play for the first season. He can have whoever he wants. So surely, even United under Fergie, they didn't have it that easy, did they?
The game's changed big time, and a lot of people are going to say that Man City have brought the title. Which it does really seem they have, but that's the power of modern football. It's all about money, and every club wants money, and everybody spends money they haven't got. But at the end of the day, you've got a manager there that don't stand for anything. He's got a good system, which is winning things every week. He's not going to change what he does. So the modern game's killing itself. It's not that Man City's getting that good. The modern game is killing itself because they're trying to spend and buy the same as Man City, but they'll never get the same unity and consistency as Man City, and that's what's winning it. Arsenal have tried, but Arsenal on top for all season couldn't handle the games. It was getting too much for them. Whereas Man City, they're up there all the time, and they can stand the pressure. So it's not until something drastic that Man City, like the manager leaving, or they get the money stopped. But I'm a firm believer now that you've got to go back a few years and get football back. The media, Sky, everything that's outside of football is changing football, not for the good of football. And you've got to get some of the old basics and that back. I'd like to see only having one sub or something like for a season. I'd like to see that you can't take a manager through the year. Things like that, just to try and even the playing field out.
I don't know about that second one, Brad. Steve, sorry, we'd be stuck with Brendan. But let me ask you the same question, Brad. Though, if Man City do it, is it not the same achievement as Manchester United doing it? And that's saying something when you come to think, compare, say, Man United to a Norwich or somebody like that.
No, not really. And this isn't no disrespect to Man City, but they're always going to win something. And minus that one season where Liverpool won the Premier League, and I think even then they still won 2 trophies. Someone might correct me in the comments, but They always win 2 trophies. It's usually the Manchester City League Cup and the FA Cup. This year they've charitably donated that to their rivals, Manchester United. But they'll probably win the FA Cup. They're gonna win the Premier League, and you know what? Credit to them, the way they destroyed Real Madrid. I can't see them not beating Inter Milan in the final. So they're eventually going to break their Champions League curse. So
Depending
on paper, yeah, it is impressive. Of course, it is. Of course, it's impressive on paper, but realistically, it's like so. We said when Newcastle do win the league, it's going to come with a bit of taintedness because fans were like, yeah, but you were eventually going to do it anyway. Whether it's next year or 5, 8 years down the line, we're going to be like, oh, okay, well done. You eventually brought the league like we expected you to. It's going to come with that, and it's not jealousy, it's not pettiness or anything like that. It's just we're football fans. We yearn for the dream, don't we? We yearn and thirst for that underdog story. We want to see a team that's not supposed to do well do well. It's why our season's been a shiter, but we're interested in the Brightons and the Brentfords breaking down the door and getting European football next season. It's why we're sat here going, go on West Ham, now you've got that far, go and win a European Cup. We want to see them do well because it's not the norm. And Man United were up against it with their teams and they're doing it. Bayern Munich were absolute giants. They weren't expected to win a league, I don't think, that season. So, yeah, Man United fans, don't worry. Don't worry. As much as Man City fans will try and hype up winning a treble this season if they go and win the Champions League, FA Cup and obviously the league, which is the only one they've got guaranteed so far, don't worry about it. Yours is still far superior to what they've done because Manchester 2 trophies season City is what they should be known as.
That said, look at Chelsea. Having all the money, having all the players doesn't guarantee that you're going to be good. You still got to have somebody in there, as in Pep, that probably is the best manager around at the moment. On the other side of the coin, it's not a guarantee of anything, is it?
All I can say
it's
on
not. But oh, sorry, I thought it was me. Sorry,
mate. All I can say on the trophy business is that Man City, Arsenal, Man United, they don't give a shit about the sorry about the language, about the League Cup or the FA Cup through the preliminary rounds. It's only till they get to the final that it means something. So I think all the hype about them getting the treble is wrong in some ways because at the beginning of the season they don't show any respect to the cup competitions anyway. It's only until they get to the finals that it becomes a big thing. So that's my point of view anyway.
Brad, back to you.
I think the thing is, and I'll still stand by this, the difference between Man City and their money spending, right, is, yeah, Chelsea can match some quality in terms of their starting 11. They've had some quality players and that, but not only do they have bizarre spending habits like this season with their new owner, but, I mean, for every Didier Drogba they had an overweight, uninterested Nicolas Anelka on the bench. You know what I mean? A player that had the quality but never really cared if he played. Man City, you want to get the best out of someone like Gundogan at age 33 or whatever he is, threatened to play Calvin Phillips, who's 50 million, and he'll soon book his ideas up and have the game of his life.
Yeah.
You threaten to drop a midfielder from Chelsea and he's got 754 to pick from. He's not bothered.
No. What are you going for this game, Brad?
This game, it's going to be one of them disaster scores. Frank Lampard's going to get absolutely trampled. I mean, if they can score 4 past Real Madrid, they're easily going to score more past Chelsea, and I'm going 6-0. Oh,
well, I just wrote mine down then, just in case you accuse me of matching you. I look at the thing, and I was surprised when I read that. Like I say, it wasn't a tweet; it was actually written by a well-known journalist. But whilst I thought, yes, she's got a point, I then look at Chelsea and think, on the key side, look at all the money they've had, all the money they spent, all the good players they've had, and look where they are. The thing I do think about this season is Newcastle are going to come back. I mean, they're going to finish probably third or fourth this season, and that's an amazing achievement for them. They will go on, and if you'd given them that at the start of the season, they would have probably laughed at you. But they've done it. But what they've done is they haven't just gone out and spent millions and millions. They have been very careful because they were watching FFP about what they're spending, and I think Arsenal, what we might have seen this year was Arsenal's chance of winning it gone. Because I think, for me, moving forward, I think if we're going to turn this title into a two-horse race, I think if Man United, depending who they sell to, but if it's sold to the English guy, he's just going to bring debt with him as well. And I think it could end up just being, in future years, a two-horse race between Manchester City and Newcastle, because I don't think Arsenal, Liverpool, and United, as much as money they've got, are going to compete with them. But for this game, I've gone 4-0, so I didn't quite go quite as mad as Brad, but I went 4-0 to Manchester City. I think this is going to be embarrassing for Brad's second favourite manager, Frank Lampard. But favourite manager that's actually waiting. Jay says, good evening, Jay. Evening, lads. Can I just say, if we go down, will tickets be easy to get? I think so. I think they will do. I think it's natural. You do have the hardcore of fans, but then you do have some that will only support them if they stay up. I would even consider next season getting a season ticket, only because I couldn't get one for the last few seasons. Jeff has gone Man City to win 2-0. Congratulations to worthy champions. Jay, I hope we beat Newell. We all hope that, mate, but it's the hope that kills us. Brighton 3, Southampton 0, says Aidan. And then he went Man City 3, Chelsea 1. Let me just bring this up because I don't know if you heard at all, Steve, but we are very big supporters of a lady called Gorinda. She was on Talk Sport, and well, let me just say this is I think we should play it first for you, Steve. I don't, just in case you haven't heard it, but this was Gorinda on Talk Sport.
What? I'm Premier League. I am elite. I am proper elite. No. I am Gorinda.
Yes, she is. She is elite. She is Gorinda, and there was like 10 minutes of her with that. So just especially for Gorinda, and I have got some of these available. If anybody likes to buy them, they're a little bit, I did buy them off the back of a truck, but they are sat navs, but they will only take you to Rotherham. So there we go. That is how to get to Rotherham, because she does not want to go to watch us play Rotherham at all. The prediction for the Liverpool game didn't go very well either. Gorinda, just for you, love. There you go. enjoy the sat nav. I can lend it you for the one journey. Steve, I know I daren't ask you this if I'm honest. Monday night, it could be all over by that final nail, but I think we all know it's over anyway, don't we?
You've got the two ends of the stick with this game, mate. You've got a team that want to win games, and every player's stepped up and gone to over 100%. And you got the other team that just don't give a shit. And I am true Leicester through and through, but I can't stand up for them anymore because they're not showing nothing, and they won't show nothing against Newcastle. Newcastle got fires in the belly. They're going to be like they are all over the pitch. Leicester are not. You cannot see any Leicester player putting a hard tackle in, making runs off the ball, other than what the manager's done. Because, like I said earlier, Leicester will set out in a system, in a position, and the players won't interact. They won't even move. They won't even move out to those positions. They'll accept what goes on. There's no arguing, no fighting. And I think it's going to be a mauling. I really, really do. And I shouldn't be saying this, but I should be saying it because you've got a Leicester fan base. They're not peed off at the club. They're peed off for the season, and they will be there again next year because they are a loyal following. They're not pissed off with Leicester City, and I don't think they're just pissed off for the season. And they will be there no matter what happens next year. They will be there because it's in the blood. But I can't slag off fellow pros. Well, I can slag them off because everything that's happening at Leicester at the moment is everything that is against what I've played for and the lads in my era have played for. We might not be in the skillful list and whatever, but shit me, man, we give you the game. And for your Madisons and all those that think they are good players, they are skillful players, but they're not good players. Good players will be your James Milners and people like that, and the Hendersons and whatever, that do not want to lose. Look at Leicester's, look at Leicester on the pitch. They don't give a shit if they win, lose or draw. And that's the thing. That's the thing that's hurting the most, and that's the thing that's hurting the fans the most, is that the way we are going down. And I can't see them changing for the next two games, to be honest. They've done it for the last 4 or 5 games, and I can't see them doing anything different. And it's okay for them to come and say, oh, we owe it to the fans. You do owe it to the fans. You've owed it nearly all season, but you're not showing it. It's okay saying it, but you're still not showing it. You'll see Maddison doing his little tricky bits and he's smiley to the cameras and all that shit for 2 minutes. But you won't see him chasing back and kicking anybody up in the air. And that goes for everybody in the team. I'm not just singling him out, but every Leicester player. You don't see any veins sticking out the side of the face or anything like that. The heads are down, looking at the floor, thinking, oh, blow the final whistle, ref. And that's the sorry state it's in at the moment. And, you know me, I love Leicester, but I can't stick up for them anymore. And you can blame Rodgers to a certain extent, but can you blame as much now because there's been no reaction since he's gone? There's been no reaction for the new managers. There's nothing. Anybody comes in and tries to manage these players can't, because they can't show anything different to what they're showing now. So I'm sorry, it's going to be a mauling, 3-0.
Happy talky, happy talk. I know what you mean. And can I just say there, if anybody has been affected by any of the issues on this show, please do contact the Samaritans. And the good news is that if you do contact the Samaritans, Steve doesn't work for them. So you're all right there.
Right. I've got to say it as I see it. No,
not at all. Yes, you know that. And you've gone 3-0, and that's probably been my only hope for the game, is that with your record of predicting and getting it the wrong, that it might be the other way around. Yeah. You've gone 3-0, along with Ed Marshall and along with Jerry Taggart. They both went 3-0 as well, but not as bad as the man in the middle. Brad, 5-0 to Newcastle.
Yeah, considering how bad that Steve just talked about that game, and the Samaritans are saying that the lines are going off the hook right now with Leicester fans ringing in, you're more optimistic than me, Steve, because I think 3-0 is potentially a half-time score. And I think we could be 3-0 down within the first 11 minutes, like we were, or it felt like we were in the Boxing Day fixture. But I think this time Newcastle won't take pity on us if they're 3-0 down within the first 11 minutes or the first 45 minutes. I think they'll go and score a few more. And I don't think if they do what Fulham did and score 5, they'll take the foot off the gas. So it's a scoreline that we've haunted Newcastle with many a times. And unfortunately, karma's going to come around and bite us in the arse. We've beat them 5-0 2 or 3 times since we've returned to the Premiership. And unfortunately, it's going to come full circle. And I only say this because my hope is I've predicted 5-0 about 7 weeks in a row, and it's always ended 4-1. So I'm hoping that it causes such an abruption that I finally get it right and bag myself 3 points. Sadly, it's not the way I was hoping to predict this game. But yeah, I can't see anything other than an absolute kicking. I'm afraid.
5-0.
I mean, Newcastle could forget they're playing at home. They could set off at 8 o'clock in the morning, drive to the King Power, get halfway there and go, oh shit, we're at home, we need to turn around. It could be 89th minute and Vardy could miss a penalty and then Newcastle would still win the game 1-0. So that's how bad we're doing this season. So yeah.
But don't forget, guys, do not forget.
Elite.
Yes, do remember that. You've gone 5-0, Brad, which is, you should hang your head in shame. Look at that, the worst score on there. Yes. The only thing the only hope that I'm grabbing hold of here, I'm like that man that's fallen off the cliff and I'm holding on, in the cartoons, and what was it, the Coyote guy after the that one,
Miley Coyote with a Roadrunner.
And he's hanging off the cliff and he's holding on to this little branch that's just holding out. And that's me at the moment, because 2 seasons ago, in Steve Bruce's last season in charge, Newcastle fans were coming on egg and we did a show with them and they were going 4-0 Leicester, 3-0 Leicester, 4-1, 5-1 and all that. And they went and beat us 4-0. So I'm hoping upon hope that might happen. It isn't going to, but I hope. I've gone 3-1. More because, like I said, I've given up on Leicester, pretty much like you, Steve, in actually staying up and actually even bothering to want to do anything. And so I'm thinking I want the points for the prediction league. So I have gone 3-1. And as you can see there, Craig's a bit more optimistic. He's gone 2-2. Ian Wilson has gone 1-1. Walshy has gone 1-1, but there should be a little asterisk there as well. In fact, last week, if he'd gone for his score that I'm not allowed to say, he'd have been getting more closer to getting the 3 points than just the 1 point last week. But there we go. So let's have a look what everybody is saying.
Just remember to leave these up for a sec so I can write them down, because I'm going to do what I did last week.
Yeah. Time to be crazy. Leicester to win 2-0. Like crazy. I think the sun's got you over there in the Philippines, Jeff. Cyber's in. Hello, Cyber. How the devil are you? I'm as right as I can be, accepting our fate. Please survive. I want Everton and Leeds to go up. I'd take that, but it isn't going to happen. He's gone 1-0 to Leicester. Please win. Thank you, sir. Luke's gone 3-0 Newcastle. Aiden's gone 2-1 to Leicester. Keeping the faith, Aiden. Keeping the faith. That's what we like to see. But it isn't going to happen. But there we go. Are you up to date now with those?
Right, no, because you literally went 3 results in a row, Matt. I'm not Superman. I might look like it with wearing red, but I'm not. Cyber.
I thought you meant, well, from what you were saying, I thought you meant leave the footy results up.
No, not the 11s. I'd already written Craig's down. I've only done the elite. I've only done the elite ones. I've only gone for the Leicester Till I Die elite producers. I haven't written all those. I meant Luke and that in the chat. Sorry.
I didn't know you were doing those because there was no need to do those this season.
No. Well, last week we did the chat. I wrote down the chat's Leicester prediction, so I was just trying to get used to it. So...
Okay. Sorry. So, going back, Aidan went 2-1 to Leicester. Can't get the staff, Steve. You need somebody that can do shorthand. Luke
I think these lot have all been drinking.
Luke went 3-0 to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Cyber went 1-0 to Leicester.
Yeah.
Jeff went 2-0 to Leicester.
Right, I got that. There's not as many as last time out in here, so that helps me hand out a little bit writing all them.
And just to keep you informed, like I say, we said it at the start. Next season, we are going to be doing this show. If, like I say, Steve, hopefully you'll be joining us again next season and doing this again. You'll be more than welcome. So this will stay pretty much as it is. It will have the new look. It'll probably have a championship trophy behind us rather than the Premier League. But we're going to do a little side sweep, which again, Steve has very, very kindly said that he will put some Foxy 7 leisure wear up for the prize. I might as well just send it to me now, Steve. That's all I can say. And that's for you guys. And you'll see the table will come up in this show as well. All you need to do is follow at Fulltime Focus on Twitter, which is that gentleman there Brad, follow him, accept Brad's follow back. Send your prediction in by Thursday at 9 for all the games. So if it's a 2-week, 2-game week, then do them both. So all the games up to the following Friday. Predictions not in, you won't be chased, you just won't be included that week. Or if you're late, you won't be included that week. And all predictions, please do it, write them so we know what clubs and what games you're referring to. Like this, 3 points for the correct score, 1 point for the correct outcome. I did think about adding some bonus points, but then again, I don't want to confuse Brad any more than he already is, because he is easily confused. And closing date for entries, I've got here. Look at that. I didn't even realise was that organised. 11th of June if you want to join. If you want to join, 11th of June. Steve, you and me were automatically in here, so don't worry about it.
He doesn't know I'm kicking him out.
Doug says sorry, but he's gone 5-0 Newcastle. Oh, you're just being bum buddies with Brad, aren't you? That's what it is, Doug. Yeah, but and like I say, Gorinda, we did have the sat nav made for you, but also we've got this to look forward to, and I don't know whether you will be free. Hopefully so, because I booked it in, but I can change it. Next Tuesday, or the Tuesday after the West Ham game, so the 30th of May, we're going to have the big fat Leicester quiz. End the season with a laugh. And we've got Steve going up against Brad. And it's the only quiz we're going to be doing on this channel. Stay tuned for news about where our other quizzes will be. And I've got an idea for you, Brad, if you stay on afterwards. And it's Steve is going to take on the young impotent, that's the wrong word. Not impotent at all. The young upstart, I don't know what word I meant then. Young upstart Brad.
I'd have been less offended if you just said imbecilic.
That's what I was looking for, actually. But the upstart, and we're going to have. I'm guessing I'm going to put you down. What season would you like to go for, Steve?
1982.
1982. There we go. And all your Leicester questions will be based on sort of the time when you were there, so got a chance. And it's the same with Brad.
I'm calling fixed though. If he gets a question on which Steve scored the goal for Leicester, I'll be like,
Look, I'm not wearing this hat for no reason. Let me just say that. You know, I am very easily bought, Steve. Just remember that. But we've only got one of these left, which is next Friday, and then we've got the championship to look forward to. But look, hey, more games. So I suppose in some way, was it? I was talking. Did I read it out to you the other day, Brad, on the preview that I think it was Rob Tanner at the Athletic talking to one of the stewards, and of course the stewards get paid game by game, and he said, "Well, we may go down, but at least I'll get more money because we'll be playing more games." I think you can't argue with that. You cannot argue with that at all. But yeah, the big fat football quiz, that will be after the end of the season. I'm looking forward to that. Come on, Steve. Not that I will be very, very, very impartial. Can I just say, Steve, you've got...
I am right here, you know.
Brad has never won a quiz on this channel when he's been up against another person. He did do well in one, but it was only him on his own, so he couldn't really lose. Steve, mate, thank you so much, and have a great
Chris, you forgot 2 games, mate. Brighton play Man City and Man United play Chelsea midweek. It's the catch-up games.
Ooh.
Fair enough, then. Fair enough.
I shouldn't have said anything. I could have given myself points for that, couldn't I? And you guys would have got nothing for that.
I'm not going to say, I didn't realise. I will blame the Premier League for that. So what's the first game, mate?
It is Brighton hosting Man City.
I'm going to go 0-2 Man City. Let's get these out the way quick.
Yeah, I've gone 0-3, just so you know.
Yeah. Steve?
I'm going 1-0 Brighton.
1-0 Brighton.
I hate you, Steve. I hope you go down in the quiz. I'm going to smash you to pieces in that quiz saying that. Swearing at me like that.
You've already won the league and they don't care. And
Yeah,
They're
I
going
think you'll be right. And the other game, sorry, Brad.
Manchester United at home to Chelsea.
Oh God, I'm going to go. I'm going to go 3-0 for this one.
3-0 Man U, yeah.
Yeah, 3-0
I'm
Man United.
going to go no goals.
And I'm going to go 2-1 Man U.
2-1 Man U. There we go. Then. Well done. It's a good job one of us is away. It didn't come up on my chart as being game, so I apologise. But
No, I just remembered that I copied the BBC and I was thinking, hold on, don't Man City still have a game in hand? And I went through the weeks and there they were, and I was like, oh, well, it's best write them down. So
there when you think the last game's next Sunday, so it's got to be at some point, hasn't it?
yeah.
Unless they're going to make Man City play 2 games on the same day just to give everybody else a chance.
They'd still win.
They would. Doug is going 2-3 Man City. Jeff is going 3-1 to City, and Doug has gone 1-0 to United. He also says, when do we want the joke off? I'm up for that next week if you are free at all, Doug, because I'm going to have the sadness on the Sunday of... We could do it before the match on the Sunday if you are up for it. We could do it there. Why not? Why not? Guys, thank you so very much indeed. Jeff's gone 1-1 for the Man United Chelsea. Steve, thank you so very much as always, young man, and thank you for donating the prize. And we will see you pre the Big Fat Football Quiz for the last prediction show next Friday.
Yes, mate. Looking forward to
it. We'll have a dress down day. It's the last one. A mufti day. No, it's not what you think, Brad. Steve, thanks very much, mate. I'll see you next Friday. Thank you very much.
See you guys.
Yes, thank you.
See you later, Steve.
See you later, mate.
Foxy7clothing.co.uk. Check it out. Steve's, like you can see there. There we go. Let me just get in close. There we go. That's the logos. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, hugger hoodie, and hats, and a lot of other choice as well. And he's very, very kindly put some prizes up for the Prediction League next season. Changes coming, Brad. With a lot of changes coming to our channels, which we'll be having a separate show. Probably at some point we'll fit it in. Even if we'll probably have to do it as a pre-record, but we'll try and fit it in somewhere. And then we should have a couple of weeks off at some point, shouldn't we? Really, but whether that will happen.
Yeah, because otherwise people are going to say that I'm going to move in with you if we keep doing shows every day. Like, I got so excited, guys, that I was planning for this show 2 days before it happened.
That is very, very true. He wasn't joking. Can I just say that after the West Ham game, that we're together on the Monday, which will either be a season review or a Premier, but more than likely a goodbye Premier League show. On the Tuesday, you got the quiz. On the Wednesday, we're probably going to have the Stay Go show. On the Thursday, the Alternative Awards show. And the team ratings on the Fridays. You might as well just come on down and move in with me.
Get myself a nice week away at that point. Yeah, it's going to be a busy week, and then we'll have to have the rest of the season, the off season off, and figure out what we're going to do. It's more just waiting to know what division we're in than anything, isn't it? We need to cross the T's and dot the I's, as they say. But yeah, all I will say, not to give anything away, but if you liking Leicester City stuff, go and check out the channel. Get yourself ahead of the game for breaking news. Get yourself ready for the breaking news that Chris will have in the off season, because that'll be the way to keep on board, won't it, Chris?
It will, and also do follow Brad's channel at Top 10 Battles on YouTube.
Yes.
Because if you follow Brad, then you'll also be very much involved with us next season as well. Not going to say much more than that because we'll be giving a lot away. Stick with me for a minute because I know you want to talk to me afterwards about Doug, and I want to ask you something about a quiz as well. But thank you very much. I mean, I don't know if you saw the other day that Up the Cherries and All Departments were doing a watch along, and there was the two of them sat in the same room doing the watch along together. I mean, at least we do sit in separate rooms.
That is very true.
Yeah,
that is very true.
People haven't worked out yet that we're actually in the same house.
Yeah, he's got a very sizable basement for me, and I've got a little hamster water hole that he keeps filling up every week. So I am well fed and nourished, people. Don't worry.
Don't you knock it. I made that big hamster wheel for you, so at least you get some exercise.
Yeah, I'm too lazy to turn it, mate, which is why the signal keeps going there. I'm not pulling my weight for the electric.
That is very true. Mate, thank you very much, sir, and all the best, and I'll speak to you in a second.
Yeah, no worries. Take care, everybody.
Cheers, mate. Thank you so very... Whoops, I took the wrong thing out then. That was what I meant to do. No, it wasn't. I'll get there eventually. There we go. There's only 3 options. It was the last one available, but I did it. That is coming up. That is going to be a laugh. Brad taking on Steve. Ivan Toney's already rung in and put a bet on Steve to win it. I don't know if that's good or bad, to be honest with you. But thanks everybody for joining in. It has been great. We will be back on. I'm going out tomorrow, so I'm not going to watch any of the afternoon games. So if Everton do win, I'm going to be like Claudio who won the title. I will be away and up in the clouds somewhere, not bothered. Thank you to everybody who was in the chat and joining in. I hope you're going to stick with us. We'll be back on Sunday with the watch along. Thanks to Steve and Brad as well. As always, couldn't do the show without them. Well, I could do the show without them, probably do it a lot better, but, we have to put up with them. It looks good if there's 2 or 3 on screen at the same time, doesn't it? No, they know I jest. I thank them to both of those. Thank the podcasts if you've been listening, whether that be on YouTube or whether that be on Spotify, Google or Apple iTunes. Thank you very much for lending me your ears. And don't forget to subscribe, click that notification bell, and join us and become a member like Sharky did. Thank you very much, Sharky. Marcus Sports, Judy Bowers, Nate, Dugout Football Channel, Kate, Matthew M. Burke, David Smith, LCFC Grey, Forever a Fox. They are all members, and next season, hopefully we'll have a few more. We will be starting to do some member-only shows. $1.99 of your good English pounds, and just click on the link below, and you'll see all the extras that you get. Cheap at half the price, that's what I say. But thank you so very much. I'll see you for the watch-along on Monday night. We're joined at 6:30 by John Sinclair, Newcastle fan. We're there for the team announcement, and well, I've got the vicar round. I think we're going to need somebody. But no, thank you so very much. This has been LTID TV. I've been Chris. I will be back, and all this guy. Good night.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You'd better like them too, or I'll be back.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.